let's take a look at how we can work with a live, brand new mind map, in a webinar and how that could work. I'm going to call this one No Blogger Left Behind Q&A because I think I'm going to go to a webinar format for my Q&A sessions instead of just working with a teleconference. I think that could be a lot richer. And let's say we have, somebody who wants to have a discussion about niches, has a question about that. We may have a discussion and I may say, okay, well, let's get a little bit more relevant. What are the niches you want to actually talk about so that we can, have a discussion that is going to really, really work for you. And, chances are we will have somebody in the crowd, especially in one of my crowds, that's going to want to talk about HUD homes. You may have somebody else who wants to talk about REOs, in more general terms. You may have somebody who wants to talk about first-time home buyers, and somebody else maybe about investor properties. And then, depending upon where the discussion is going to be going, the subtopics could go out. We may want to be talking about developing categories or topics around REOs. If that's what we're talking about, we may want to be talking about financing. We may be wanting to talk about inspections. We may want to talk about reselling, flipping. And again, we can do that in any one of those topics. Then we may want to, move to another topic, and somebody in the group may want to talk about, WordPress plugins. And we may want to, have a discussion there. We may have, somebody else who wants to talk about traffic, web traffic, web traffic, how we can accomplish certain things with SEO perhaps, how we can use social media for traffic. We might want to, to talk about something like that. So this becomes a really, really neat vehicle. A mind map becomes a neat vehicle to do that. At the end of the webinar, I can print off the into a PDF file. I can print the entire mind map and attach that to a replay of the webinar. It also gives me an option, depending upon how our discussion goes, if we have it structured right, where I can, let's say I've got a 60-minute webinar and we cover, 3 things in great length. Well, maybe I can break that down into 20-minute webinars with the mind maps and then have discussions that become more like FAQ videos and a little bit easier to follow. So I think that the mind map support is a great way to do a webinar, whether you're creating the mind map in advance or creating it on the fly. It's a great way to be interactive. People can be interactive. They can give you information. They can ask you questions. They can help you fill in the blanks here in the chat. They can do that all sorts of ways, and that could be a lot of fun. I think that's a great way to do that. Also, if you have a very, very small group, and it works okay, and there's not a lot of background noise, then you can invite people to share from their phones, on their headsets or with their microphones. That's something that you want to play with in very, very small groups, because that can become a little bit unwieldy. So don't try to do that if you have more than 10 or 20 people. Trust me, then it gets a little bit crazy.